Hey everybody, welcome back. Dave, ABQ, SCNC. It is time for another edition of our low budget, low tech NFL power rankings. We are moving on. Gizmo is back with his power rankings. We are over halfway through the season. The trade deadline has passed. Not a whole lot of teams doing a whole lot of moving around. Let's get to it. Bottom half of the league at number 32 are the Miami Dolphins. Gizmo says they competed in the first half, but tanked like their season, getting ready for next season's draft. Dolphins not looking good. They're getting rid of everybody. Kenyon Drake's gone. Minka Fitzpatrick's gone. Kiko Alonso's gone. That whole team is just not looking good. They showed a little bit of life, going up 14-0, looking like they might cruise to their first victory, and just could not pull it off in what was probably one of the worst ranked NFL Monday Night Football games ever. Number 31, Cincinnati Bengals, staying in the same spot as well. Gizmo says they showed some fight against the Rams, but the defense let the team down again. That defense is just no bueno, man. They are not good. Guys are looking lost out there, missing assignments. They are in the right spot at number 31. Number 30, dropping a spot, is the Atlanta Falcons, down one spot. Gizmo says Matt Schaub threw for over 460 yards, having not started a game since 2015. The defense is stinking up the place. Oh man, they were so awesome on defense in that Super Bowl year, and it just has not been the same. Offense rolling, defense can't get any stops. Hopefully they'll be able to figure out something for that team. Number 30 is the number 29 actually is the Washington Redskins. My team, woo woo, moving up a spot. Gizmo says fell short on Peterson revenge games against his old team. Vikings rushing was too much for the Redskins. We were holding them pretty good, and then they just started pounding the rock, running right at guys who just did not want to tackle Dalvin Cook. And that backup they have was just terrorizing us as well. Number 28, the Denver Broncos, staying in the same spot. Gizmo says the defense is somewhat fixed, offense playing too conservative, and now Flacco out with a herniated disc in his neck. Flacco was not happy in the fact that they were being conservative. They're a run-first team that needs the run to work to base it off the play action, so it's not a big surprise here. They do need wide receiver help, and I'm very shocked they did not try to move around. They might be selling or getting rid of a bunch of guys next year. Number 27, the New York Giants, staying in the same spot. Gizmo says 4 touchdowns by Danny Dimes after a rough start. Defense still needs to work, but the coaching is the big problem. Uh-oh. Gizmo getting down on the coaching staff. That defense, like, it's horrible. They got rid of all their stars, and they're trying to work with a bunch of pretty much backups. Number 26, the Cleveland Browns, continuing their fall, down 3 spots. Gizmo says mental breakdowns are killing the Browns all season. Can't win turning the ball over. They pretty much handed those guys, the Patriots, a bunch of turnovers, pretty much tossing the ball in their lap that one time. Browns are not looking good. At number 25, the New York Jets, staying in the same spot. Gizmo says Darnold not looking too good in the last 2 games. Turning the ball over, and pass defense is terrible. It's bad when the mascots are making fun of you. Jaguar mascot coming out in a ghost costume. Darnold looks good one week and really horrible the next. It's kind of hard to gauge how this team is. They try to get rid of a lot of their players, getting rid of Williams to the Giants, and try to trade Vernon Adams, so we'll see. Number 24, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, down 2 spots. Gizmo is just now realizing that Jameis Winston isn't a good quarterback. Too many turnovers, which cost them wins. I was calling this preseason, man. Jameis Winston is not good. He has moments where he can look good, but the majority of the time, that's all it is. It's just him showing just enough for you to keep him in the starting lineup. Number 23, Los Angeles Chargers, up 3 spots. Gizmo says an ugly win, being outplayed by the Bears, not a playoff caliber team like last year. They got lucky. Pinheiro should have made that field goal, Curtis. Number 22, the Pittsburgh Steelers, up 2 spots. Gizmo says they started off slowly against the Dolphins after their bye week, but came off with a big win. I was one of the ones that thought that Hodges should be starting and Rudolph was coming back way too soon. It might have been that he got the cobweb shaken back in him after he ran out of bounds and got hit in the head again. They might have shook up whatever got shaken out and put it back into place. And because after that hit, he played fantastic. Number 21, the Arizona Cardinals, down 2 spots. Gizmo says Murray not too impressive against better teams. Defense having problems against the pass and the run. It's another case where defense, if you don't have the guys that can match up or guys that just aren't into it, you are not going to win many games. Kyler Murray needs to get better at reading defenses. He needs to watch a lot of Drew Brees tape to try to improve his game. Number 20, the Oakland Raiders, down 2 spots. Coming off the bye, they face a new quarterback for the Giants. Dak and Zeke are on top of their game. So the Raiders played well against the Texans, just couldn't keep up with them. This team is another one that shows flashes of being good, but then just can't get it done. Number 19 is where the Chicago Bears, Curtis Elliott's team, falls, down 3 spots. Gizmo says Trubisky is having a sophomore slump, and the kicking problems come up again after a missed winning field goal. This is going to be the week-to-week thing for this team, or year-to-year thing with this team. They just get it down there and can't make the field goal. Granted, it was 53 yards and the wind was blowing pretty good, but still, Pinheiro, that was probably a little bit out of his range. Trubisky is not that great. They need to figure out what they're doing. Either he came back too early or something's going on. Number 18, Carolina Panthers, down 3 spots. Gizmo says Allen throwing 3 interceptions and sacked 3 times after facing a top contender in the 49ers. Allen has looked good, 5-0 before this. That 49ers defense has been making even veteran Pro Bowl quarterbacks look silly. So if your tackles cannot contain the 2 defensive ends for the 49ers, you're going to lose every time. They're putting pressure on the quarterback, and they look like the Bears defense from last year. Number 17, the Tennessee Titans, up 4 spots. Gizmo says Tannehill earned another win. But the coach almost cost him the game with the fake field goal attempt. I did not get that at all. I know Vrabel is defensive minded, so maybe he's listening to somebody he's not supposed to, but Tennessee Titans up 4 spots, so they're moving in the right direction, but that team's another one that just looks good one week and looks horrible the next. Tannehill's definitely putting a spark in that team. At number 16, the Philadelphia Eagles, up 4 spots. Gizmo says this team is hard to figure out. They stink, then they come out and whip the Bills. Yeah, this is the mantra for a lot of teams in the NFL this year. I mean, the NFL wanted parity. They are definitely getting it out of most of the league, as any team can basically win a game and look fantastic one week and then get blown out the next. Eagles not making much of a move, as they needed cornerbacks and they needed wide receivers, and got neither one. We are rolling along top half of the standings. Where will your team fall? We're getting to the top 10, but right now it's time for number 15. The Jacksonville Jaguars up 2 spots. Gizmo says, Men's Show Magic shows up again with 3 touchdowns, and the defense came up with 3 interceptions. Against sub-500 teams and teams that are right on the bubble, they are going to do good against. It's those upper echelon teams that Jacksonville struggles with. T-Unit, your team is up in the top half, back up 2 spots. At number 14, the Dallas Cowboys, after the bye week, are staying in the same spot. Gizmo says, coming off the bye, they face a new quarterback. Dak and Zeke are on top of their games. I think Gizmo put the Cowboys one in the Raider spot, as it says the same thing. But yeah, Dak and Zeke are playing pretty decent right now. It's going to be between them and the Eagles for the NFC East. At number 13, C. Rogers, Detroit Lions, staying in the same spot. Gizmo says, defense still a problem, allowing Giants quarterbacks to throw 4 touchdowns, but Stafford and Galladay stole the show. Yeah, thanks Galladay, as I have Marvin Jones on my fantasy team. They are definitely preferring to throw to Galladay more than they are Marvin Jones at this point. And Lions getting all the way up to 13 right now. At number 12, it is the Los Angeles Rams, staying in the same spot. Gizmo says, Kupp torched the Bengals with 220 yards on 7 catches with 2 touchdowns. That was just insane. It was the Bengals, granted. That's why probably they didn't move anywhere. But Cooper Kupp making them look silly. Number 11, the Houston Texans, staying in the same spot. Gizmo says, Watson steps up big in the 4th quarter, but they lose J.J. Watt to season-ending injury. J.J. Watt, man, he just cannot stay healthy. Every year it is something with him. We'll see how they do without him, as he applies a lot of pressure. They got rid of Clowney in the offseason, so hopefully this defense can keep it up. Number 10, the Indianapolis Colts. Gizmo says, Brissett stepping up big time and the defense playing better than expected. Found a way to win. I am shocked. I did not think this team was even going to be a 500 team at the beginning of the year. So hats off to Jacoby Brissett and the Colts, making the top 10, staying there. We are moving up to number 9. The Kansas City Chiefs go down 1 spot. Gizmo says Mahomes may miss yet another game, with the Chiefs losing 4 in a row. Good thing the AFC is bad. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be crazy. Mahomes, the team is definitely not the same. They scored points, but it was just not enough. They stayed right in that game. Mahomes can afford to miss a couple weeks, as they were, what, 6-2? And the closest one was 4-4 maybe, so that they have a couple games where they can keep Mahomes out just to make sure he's healthy. At number 8, the Buffalo Bills, down 2 spots. Gizmo says, tough loss, but the next 4 games should keep them in the playoff potential, or they will fade in December. I'm thinking they're going to stick around. They'll make the wild card. Allen, that was a one-off for him right now. We'll see if that trend continues with him throwing 3 interceptions. But so far they are right where they should be. Number 7, Seattle Seahawks up 1 spot. Gizmo says jump on the Falcons quick, and we're cruising before Atlanta made some noise. Still found a way to win. Seahawks are this is how their year goes. They look horrible in the beginning. Their offensive line looks like trash, and then they find a way to put it together by the season end. Number 6, the Minnesota Vikings up 1 spot. Gizmo says no touchdowns for Cousins, but the running game did set up big pass plays to win over the Redskins. They struggled against our defense for a little bit, but then turned it on, as we could not handle their run attack. That's Minnesota's game. They run and then they play off the play action, and Minnesota took full advantage. Number 5, Baltimore Ravens, staying in the same spot. Yeah, cracking the top 5 after the bye week. Gizmo says Jackson has a few things to improve on, but his play has been outstanding. moving on from Flacco was a good decision. I agree. Jackson was the choice. If teams cannot contain him, they are going to have problems. A lot of the analysts on the big TV shows are counting the Ravens as the one victory over the Patriots this year. We'll see. Number 4, the Green Bay Packers down 1 spot. Gizmo says praise to Aaron Rodgers, but it was Jones who stood out with 7 receptions and 2 scores. Jones had over 150 yards receiving as a running back. That was insane. Doesn't happen very often, especially for the Packers. I think they said Randall Cobb and some of those other guys only combined for like 2 of those over 150 yards. So hats off to Jones and the great game he had. It did move him down a spot though. Number 3, the New Orleans Saints going down 1 spot. Gizmo says, welcome back, Breeze. 373 passing yards with 3 touchdowns once he warmed up. Yeah, it took him a while to come back, shake the rust off, but then they just look fantastic. And bumping both those guys down are the number 2 San Francisco 49ers, moving up 2 spots. Gizmo says, dominant play by rookie Bosa with 3 sacks. The defense tearing it up, and the offense is lights out. That defense is just crushing people. Nobody's tackles can compete with Bosa and the other side of that line. If they keep it up, they're going to be just fine. When they can't, that's when they're going to struggle. So far, Jimmy G is like even on touchdowns and interceptions. So the defense is definitely bailing him out. They could have been number 1 this week, but I think it's the right call to have him at number 2. Number 1, the New England Patriots taking the top spot again. How many weeks in a row is this? Gizmo says the offense still not too impressive. It's the defense that has them 8-0. Easy schedule factors in. Like, this is the difference between being in the top 10 and being on the bottom of the league. Defense. If your defense is trash and cannot cover, cannot tackle, cannot create pressure, you are going to be on the bottom half of the league. If your defense is good and they can stop people from scoring, especially in the red zone, you're in the top 10. That's basically what it comes down to. Congrats to the Patriots. They are rolling along. And this is our NFL ranking show. Drop a comment. Subscribe if you haven't. Give the video a like. And let us know what you think of Gizmo's power rankings. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great night. And we'll see you again later. Bye.